Everything probably works. We're probably live. For anybody who's listening to us, if we are already
It's not
live, we were
pushed
having
yet.
some technical. Oh, you haven't pushed it?
I did. Okay, it's
Oh, you
okay.
did push it.
Go ahead. Yes.
So we might be live.
I think
Oh,
it's
crap.
I
I hear
don't
myself.
Why is my mom calling me? I'm not answering your phone,
We need.
stupid phone.
Well, my mom's texting me asking if we're going live.
My mom's calling me. She hasn't talked to me in like 2 weeks.
She's probably wondering why you're not live.
It shows we're live. Yeah, I'm coming through the computer microphone. If people are listening, because nothing works on my end. I apologize. We should have been live about 30 minutes ago. My microphone's not working. Computer's not working. Nothing's working. And that's where we're at. So, if you're here, hopefully you can see us. Give us 1 second. Streaming with errors. That's always a good sign. Always a good sign.
Oh, it looks like we're live on Twitter.
Awesome. Well, it works on Twitter.
Lost connection. Trying to reconnect. Oh, wait, I think it's reconnected. So we will be getting to some beer news, and we're going to be talking about stouts. Are they an all-year drink or just for when it's cool outside?
Well, I'm having one right now. I'll get to it in a
Me
minute.
too.
If installation was successful. So why isn't my microphone working? Can somebody explain this to me? Geek Squad, where are you at?
Because life can't be too easy. Checking the Facebook.
That just muted
We're
everything.
not on Threads, right?
No, we're frozen on my
too
video
many
here.
Should I go ahead and say the beer I'm drinking?
Just do it. It looks like we're live. So yeah. All right. Go ahead. Kick us off.
So I am a jackass. I thought I was drinking Weathered Souls Black is Beautiful, but it's Tactical's Black is Beautiful, but still not going to complain. I've had this one sitting in my fridge for a minute. Everybody knows the Black is Beautiful initiative, I feel like by now. Brewed to support justice and equality for people of color. And Marcus in San Antonio, Weathered Souls Brewing, started the initiative, and this is one that Tactical Brewing, a local brewery, did. And it is an imperial stout with chocolate, caramel, and coffee at 10% ABV. And it is delicious. But I posted it in our beer Discord server and said it was the Weathered Souls one. I am a liar. The tactical one. But that's what I'm drinking because stout season is all season.
Yes. Nothing works. I'm drinking a bombastic Waddle, it's called. It's an imperial stout with maple syrup and coffee. And stout for breakfast? Question mark. If it's laden with robust maple syrup and cold pressed Thomas Hammer coffee, then yes, we start with a big roasty imperial stout base and maple syrup twice. First in the boil to add a woody maple kick, then in the fermenter to highlight traditional maple syrup flavor. Yep, it's got a nice bite to it. It's pretty good. I like it. I just a lot of frustrations. My microphone's not working. That's really frustrating me. I re-downloaded everything. I don't know why.
What are you gonna do? Shit happens. But yeah, one of the questions we had is, let us know in the comments. We will try to see them. Do you drink stouts all year? Do you drink stouts just in the winter, just when it's cooler? I did do a poll on Hops News, and we had 10 votes. 8 said hell yes. 2 said it depends. Nobody said though no, it's too hot for that.
It's never too hot for that. Jeff did on our Facebook page, Jeff Hunt. I don't know why I'm talking to this microphone. It doesn't work. He was like, it's only appropriate when it's cool enough to wear a sweatshirt.
Well, so yeah, somebody else said that's more daring than Heatwave pumpkin beers. Heatwave stouts are more daring.
There is nothing wrong.
I don't feel like it's a heat wave here in Florida. I just feel like this is how hot it usually is in the summer. I think we sometimes
that's fair.
forget.
Well, it's always hot. It's always hot though. Like, yeah, that's
no.
Florida lives in perpetual heat and disgustingness, though.
It depends. People forget how big Florida is because, like, if you go, so we were looking to do like a weekend trip somewhere in Florida, and I was playing around on Google Maps, and I literally put Key West to Pensacola. It would take you like 13 hours to drive.
That's very true. That is very, very true.
I mean, you've had times where you've gotten flurries and temperatures, super low in North Florida, and it's still hot in the Keys. Although I have been in the Keys before when it was 40 degrees in January. So you really,
Wow. My
we just
parents are in
we
the
have
Keys
so
right
much
now,
fun.
actually.
It's definitely not 40 degrees in the Keys today. They're
No, they're
probably
at the
melting.
beach. Oh, yeah, they came
My
from
mom,
Massachusetts.
my mom got married in Key West in August, and we were
Oh,
melting.
that's exciting. In August? Ew, August is the hottest month to do literally anything in.
Yeah. Well, you could go upstairs to where she got married, and there was naked people because it was a nude bar.
Oh, that's exciting.
It's one way to cool down, or to have your
That
ass stick to a seat.
that's exciting.
One of the
Stouts,
things
yes.
I do want to mention though about stouts is if you go to like any of the islands, like Jamaica, Tortola, Nassau, any of those kind of Caribbean islands,
Yeah.
they're all drinking the Guinness Foreign Extra Stout. And that's not just drinking like Guinness in the hot weather on the beach. Like the foreign stout is 7%, not 4%. And it's a lot more bitter. It goes back to the whole IPA story where they added more hops for the shipping. Of course, now they, brew it there too. I think there's a Guinness factory in Jamaica. But they're all drinking these, very bitter stouts on the beach. So you can definitely always find a local drinking extra foreign Guinness stout on the
Oh,
islands.
interesting.
So that furthers my opinion that stout season is all year. It's
That's
always
true.
stout season.
It is always, I don't care. Like, you're going to be hot no matter what. It doesn't matter what beer you drink. You're going to be hot. So why not at least enjoy your life a little bit?
This from the guy who drinks cold coffee when it's snowing.
Exactly. Why not enjoy life a little bit? See what I'm saying? Like, who cares?
It's true.
You gotta enjoy the little things in life, is the way I see it, and that's one of the little things in life.
Woohoo, we're live everywhere.
We are,
All right,
are we? Oh gosh.
Micah said, yo.
Hi,
Yo,
Micah.
Micah, how
I
are
don't
you?
know if you're still
Micah,
there.
do you drink stouts all year up where you are?
Probably. Maybe I'm gonna get there eventually. I have
Yes. Yeah,
faith.
you'll be close to Micah, won't you?
I think a couple hours away. I want to say. I'm not too familiar with the layout there, but allegedly yes.
You're going to be familiar
So
real soon.
so they say. Yeah, nothing works, man. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I'm sorry, everybody. So, Lauren, why don't you start us off with some news real quick?
You're scratching the mic?
You can hear
What are
that?
you doing? That's terrible. Yes.
Oh, God. I'm trying to plug
Okay.
back in my microphone. I'm sorry.
It's like nails on a chalkboard.
See, like, it shows that it's on, so I don't know why it's not working. Like, this is on, right?
You have a lot of lights lit up. Mine doesn't have any lights lit up like that.
Well,
Oh,
somebody
maybe that's the deck.
somebody
Never mind.
removed the
I
cable
don't know.
that I normally use. Uh, don't know who. However, there's only one other person that likes to come in here and put all my shit fucking elsewhere. Um, and so I have
Did you
to
make
find
sure it's
this. What's that?
plugged in?
It's plugged
One
in.
time mine was just not plugged in on the actual mic.
It's
This is the behind the scenes episode of Hops News.
This is the episode where I literally troubleshoot for an hour and you listen to us ramble. So
All right, so I'll go into some news. So craft beer in Minnesota has gone down. Canned cocktails and THC seltzers
keep
are
talking. Let me
gaining in
find another cord.
popularity. We've been unfortunately talking about a lot of breweries not making as much craft beer, not selling as much craft beer these days. But a lot of the craft brewers there are starting to make THC seltzers to kind of keep up. So I have only had one THC seltzer, and I don't even know if it's a legit one because they mailed it to me. I don't know what Matt. I think Matt is in a fight with a dog. I don't know what's going on. So that's one piece of news. Our next piece of news. Oh, my mom just had a tailgate peanut butter stout. That is fantastic beer from Tailgate Brewing. That was one of the breweries I went to in Nashville, and I know they have quite a few. I think you got it in Ohio. Do they have a tailgate in Ohio? All right, she'll let me know. Heineken, which is in the Netherlands, we've all heard of Heineken. They announced they are acquiring a Dutch craft brewer called Oedipus Brewing. It's an interesting name. I'm assuming after Oedipus Complex. The Giant had acquired a minority stake in 2019, and now I guess they're just buying them all the way. So all over the world, tiny breweries are getting bought. You doing okay over there?
Sick. Yeah, no, I don't have another cable. This is what I'm working with. So, yay.
All right. So we're on to the UK brewers. They are experiencing, quote, drinkflation, meaning the cost of making beer is getting too high. So what they're doing instead of increasing their prices is they're actually lowering the ABV uh, and selling it for the same price. So a
Ooh.
quote from the article is among the popular brands where alcohol content has been cut are Foster's, Old Speckled Hen, Bishop's Finger, and Spitfire.
Oh,
And it is
Spitfire.
predicted that similar reductions will be made to others due to a law change in August, which will mean the duty or taxes charged on most drinks will solely be linked to alcohol strength. So I don't know
Interesting.
how or if that will impact those beers that get imported here. Like I know I've seen Speckled Hen here,
I've drinking
Foster.
Spitfire while I was deployed before.
Nice. I think they have Speckled Hen at Epcot right now.
Ooh, do they?
I've seen it.
I don't think I've ever. I like that name a lot, Speckled Hen. Maybe it's because I have chickens.
Maybe.
Pulling up
So
on
what do you
the
think about contract brewing? Are you still working on your
contract brewing. Apparently, there's a brewery in Boise that got kicked out of Austin for doing just that, and like, I don't have an issue with it as long as you're upfront and honest about the fact that you're contract brewing. But if you try to hide it, that just seems shady to me.
Oh, that's super shady. Yeah, no, I think you should be honest because obviously, I mean, where you make it can definitely impact the beer, whether it's the water quality or
Right.
you know anything like that.
And especially if you want to
Um,
like, oh, we're locally, owned and operated, which is great. But if you're like saying that when really you contract to brew like 3 states away, that's just seems
right.
bad business.
It's yeah, it's interesting too when you're like, you're traveling, you're like, oh, I'm at this brewery in Florida, and then you find out that the brewery is made in like Ohio. It's like, well, that didn't expect that one. But no, they're saying for some breweries, contract brewing is the way to go and in a way to survive in the brewing industry
I mean, you kind
today.
of I think isn't Night Shift, I believe, doing contract brewery, like they don't brew it there because there was the carbonation shortage or whatever they said it was, and
Mm,
ever since then I mean they're still making their beer, but I don't think like they're making their beer. I think it's obviously another brewery or somewhere. I don't know where they contract brew out of now. I just know that they're not making their own beer for whatever reason. So it's like it's one of those things like you obviously want breweries to survive if they're good breweries,
hmm.
but at what cost? And as long as they're being honest. Again, like that's my big thing is just don't be shady about it.
Yeah. No, I agree. Well, and like when Mickler first started brewing in the States, that's all that they were doing. But it was called they started calling it gypsy brewing at first, but there was
Oh,
another
interesting.
name, nomadic brewing. I think that's a better
Oh,
word
I
for
think
it.
of. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I think that was different because I don't think that they were paying other breweries to brew their beer. I think that they were going places and brewing their beer.
I
So
don't have
I
a
guess
problem
that's
with
a
that
little
either. I
different.
guess not too much.
I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
as specifically if they did it the same or did different, but I thought when I had heard that I was like, well, this is genius. They could just travel around and make beer.
Right.
But then they
Yep.
started opening places, and
Yeah.
then they started closing places.
And
That got
everything's closing these days. Yeah. I'm trying to find where we were at. Sorry, I'm a mess today. My bad. I guess the ever since I got back from like Los Angeles, I must have like stepped on an ancient Indian burial ground while in Los Angeles because I've had nothing but bad luck. So
you are cursed.
that's what I'm working with right now.
It happens. So you got to find a hoodoo priest, something
I
demon-safe.
actually
Go
did
find a
bury
hoodoo.
Saint Joseph in my yard because there's a superstition that says if you bury Saint Joseph and read the prayer, it helps you sell your house.
Oh my
And
gosh,
we're like, fuck
man!
it, let's try it. Why not? It was like this little 6-inch figure of Saint Joseph, and he's buried in our yard.
I wonder how many Saint Josephs are buried around the world.
Apparently, it's about like my neighbor did it. Apparently, when I like, she's our real estate agent. And she was like, "Yeah, we did it." My mom is the one who told me about it. I looked up like the first thing you Google with like Saint Joseph, it pops up as like they sell home buying kits, Saint Joseph home buying kits. They sell this in like stores. It's apparently a thing.
I need to ask Josh about this. This is so I've never heard of that, and my husband's a realtor. That's
Yeah,
hilarious. Or
it's
was a
crazy.
realtor. All right. Who do you think makes the most beer in the states?
The most
Pick a
beer in the
state. Any
states.
state. Not like total, like per person, per capita.
Well,
And don't read
uh,
the doc, you cheater.
Okay,
Are you
then I'll
reading the
just I'll make up a thing. Let's go
All right,
with
it's
Washington since I read the doc. I'll just make up a lie.
well, you'd be surprised, it's actually Vermont. So Vermont tops the list, with an impressive 20.1 gallons brewed for every resident of drinking age. There are
Huh.
78 craft breweries across this teeny tiny state, and the state's only 9,616 square miles, and there's 78 breweries. Meanwhile, California makes the most beer, or the most craft barrels produced, at a whopping 3,551,344. And of course, they are
Interesting.
known for
That's crazy.
having a
Vermont's
big
so tiny and cute, and like barely anybody lives there, but they brew the most. They make the best beer.
well, per person. Well, yeah, but I agree, but also I feel like it's a big, beercation spot, especially because you can do like all of Vermont in one trip. Whereas
That's
like
true.
California, like we've done sections of
Holy
California
smokes, yeah.
on different trips. So I feel like they have probably a decent flow of tourists. And like when I was at the Alchemist back in
Yep.
2019, we're like getting out of the car and we're like this, I hear somebody go, "This is the Mecca of the East Coast." So
They
it's
do have a pretty
obvious.
like once you see like Hetty is like the big one. There's like various beer exchange. They sell they trade empties right on those Facebook pages, but yeah, they it's always like where can I get Hetty Topper? Where can I get? But even though Hetty Topper's not even the better one, Focal Banger's the better of the two,
Yeah, I like Focal Banger
and
better.
that's like a I
I
feel like
was
that
in
yeah it's common. I don't know.
Well, Hetty was like the first, like I feel the same way with Pliny and Blind Pig. I feel like Blind Pig is better than Pliny, but you're looking at their IPAs versus their double IPAs. So with Pliny and with Hetty, I feel like it was like, oh wow, this is a double IPA and very hoppy, but still actually good. But
Right,
with California, the one thing Vermont doesn't do so much is distribute outside of their state. I mean, they do a little bit, but not like California does, obviously.
right.
So California, they have the biggest like economic impact with a total of 9 billion generated across its 957 craft breweries.
Hot
So there you go.
tamales.
All right, did you read the doc, or can you guess? Does anybody want to guess what the state is that has the least amount of beer made?
I didn't actually see the least amount of beer. No,
There's two states.
probably like one of those middle of nowhere states like Nebraska.
Nope, Mississippi and Kentucky. So
Oh,
Mississippi
really?
ranked last nationwide, producing just 21,963 craft barrels last year. And then Kentucky ranks on the lower half in craft production with the 36th spot with 118,974 barrels. But keep in mind, they are the nation's bourbon capital.
Oh,
So that
well,
seems
they just sit around drinking bourbon on their porches.
right. When you got quality bourbon, you're probably not drinking as much beer.
Yeah, that's true. No, that's definitely fair. I can buy into that.
So here's some more non-alcoholic beer news, which I hope the non-alcoholic better and better. A brewery or a brewer who formerly owned Holy Mackerel Small Batch Beers, Bobby Gordash, has made a hazy IPA called Oomph, and it is a non alcoholic
Yeah,
beer. You can find it down south at Total Wine and Fresh Market, and it is $14 for a six pack. And if you can also buy it online because it's non alcoholic. And if you want to get it on draft, you can find it at Lauder Ale Brewing, which, even if you don't want to drink the non-alcoholic beer, you should still check out Lauder Ale. I feel like Lauder Ale is very underrated. It is a awesome little brewery. They do brewery yoga every Sunday, and they actually incorporate the beer into the yoga. It's very close to the airport. They usually have a very yummy food truck there.
ooh,
They have some solid beers. And the first time we did the brewery, because I was used to doing like yoga at a brewery where you do yoga and then, for $10 or $15, you get a class and a beer after the class. Well, about 30 minutes into this class, she's having us close our eyes and we're sitting crisscross applesauce
yeah,
with our eyes closed. And I open my eyes and there's a full beer in front of me. So that was a lot of fun. And then you do things like balance it on your head and do the beer back and forth. And you do a lot of fun things. Sometimes beer gets spilled.
that's true. Yeah, it's okay. You know what? Spilling beers happens. Sometimes at least you don't have to dump. They're not dumping the beer.
No. And they give you it's usually like a cream ale or something that you do
Yeah.
the brewery with.
There's goat yoga at a winery next weekend that we might go to. By the way. That sounds
Yeah,
nice.
Ivanhoe did that not too long ago.
It's
I
awesome.
wouldn't wanna do that now because I think it would be terrible to do it in because with Ivanhoe, usually they get very crowded, so you do it like it goes inside the brewery and they open the doors and it goes into
Oh,
the
I'm not
patio.
doing it on. I'm not doing it on the patio. No way.
Well, in the winter, that's lovely,
Yeah.
but,
Oh, yeah. I'm sure.
I wouldn't wanna do it with goats sweating. I mean, that just sounds like it would smell so bad. Oh my
It's
god,
just
sweaty
you're
people
trying to
and
drink a
goats.
beer and it just like tastes like musky goat fur.
Well, and it's all sweaty people too then, like, one by itself is a lot.
Yeah. Oh man. Did you know? Shout out to our friend Stacy. Connecticut, beer just got cheaper to make. They
What?
their
Tell me
excise
why.
tax on beer has been reduced by 16.7% as of July 1st, which should hopefully help the beer industry, honestly, because it's been struggling. And
Yeah,
yeah, oh, I can
that's
hear
awesome.
myself
It's
too.
nice to see laws passing that are good.
Agreed. Did you know also that Patagonia, the fancy Patagonia, like that people wear to ski resorts and stuff like that, they're actually unveiling a partnership program with some of the most acclaimed breweries in the nation. There's 11 exciting new beers coming to the market as a result, and all in all, it's meant to help the planet. Each of these releases will be brewed using Kernza, a perennial whole grain harvested from wheatgrass. A whole slew of reasons was provided as to why it's better for the earth. Kernza requires minimal tilling and provides soil health, and it's good for water holding capacity. It can even help fight the climate crisis. Jesus, hell. By drawing far more carbon from the air into the ground than annual grains. Some of the breweries involved are Russian River Brewing, Sierra Nevada, Allagash, and Maui Brewing, which is pretty cool. We're all about the environment because we've 3 days in a row, folks. We have broken the record for hottest days in the existence of the Earth. That's not a good thing. I don't like the heat. Let's not do this.
You don't even like the basketball team.
No. Ugh. Ugh. Anyways, moving on. Speaking of more good in the world, researchers are actually using leftover beer yeast in an attempt to get Chinook salmon to come back to where they left to breed. Apparently, their sense of smell is very good, and that's how they travel and come back to where they're from. There's a whole lot going on with why this is important. Wild fish breeding with non wild born fish, natural issues messing up their route and their homes and all that kind of stuff. But after many smells, that fish could follow. The fish could follow many smells, is what I'm trying to say. It looks like beer yeast is the best and most cost efficient. However, it's still in the testing phase.
Yeah, if anybody wants to know more about that, let me know and I'll drop the link in one of the articles because it had a whole bunch of scientific information in there. It was actually kind of cool to
Yeah.
see what they're doing and how they're doing and why this is important. So, following the Russian invasion of Ukraine in late February 2022, Carlsberg Brewery, like many companies did, they pledged to exit Russia. Well, as of last week, the Danish brewing giant announced that they have signed an agreement to sell its business in Russia, subject to regulatory approval.
Ooh,
Have you read the book, The Complete Beer Course?
I have not.
So I actually read it a few years ago, but there's a new version of it out there. But cute story, my husband got it at Barnes& and Noble with my daughter, and it was supposed to be a Christmas present. And my daughter comes in and she goes, "We got you a book about beer." I go, "Oh, did you?" And she goes, "Yeah, it's." And my husband goes, "That was a secret, Brielle." And I go, "Brielle, what's a secret?" She goes, "A secret is a book about beer." She was like 2.
I love
This
like
would be nuts.
Harper does that too. She's 4 and she for Father's Day they made like a coffee cup. The day she made she goes, "Dad, I made you a secret coffee cup. It's for Father's Day. I'm not supposed to tell you." And I'm like, "Well, you didn't do a very good job."
Well, it's hard because you have to tell your kids, if somebody tells you to keep a secret, that is not okay, unless it's a present for somebody. So it's like you have to, find that.
Yes. Yes.
If some random uncle says this is just between us, let's keep this a secret. You need to tell mommy. But if it's a book about beer,
If
kids, you can keep
grandma's
it a
over here
secret.
telling you to keep secrets, you should let us know because you can tell us these things. However, yes.
Grandma's secrets are usually don't tell mom that I let you have chocolate for breakfast. Yes, so there's a new version of that. It's called The Complete Beer Course. I should have grabbed mine to show, but it's a lot of fun, and I kind of want to read the new one now, but it's just kind of it would describe a type of beer, and then it would say these are the beers you should recommend that are like that type of beer. So that's probably the first time I had heard about Toppling Goliath Pseudo Sue. That was one of the IPA recommendations, and that's why I still have my first can behind me, because when I saw it in Tavor and I had read about it as being one of the highly recommended beers, I had to get it and save it so it's a trophy. But they talk about Pliny, they'll talk about Hetty, but then they also talk about other styles that are international and give like examples, and it's a really cool book.
Yeah.
It's but yeah, get that secret book for any of your beer loving loved ones for any holiday coming up.
Birthdays are coming up. Somebody's gonna be the big 4-0 here soon. That she already has it, but find another beer
Shout out
book.
to Erica, who I know is not watching because she's texting me. She sent me an early birthday gift, and I got it in the mail today. She bought it on eBay, and I'm like, what the hell did she buy me on eBay that she needed to send me a month before my birthday when she's going to be with me in Maine? So anybody who's seen the Osborne lights at Disney, they
Oh
closed
yeah.
in 2015 to make way for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Eric and I were there the last night of the lights, both of us like in tears as they're turning the lights off for the last time. And I didn't buy the shirt because I was like, it's $40. They'll have it at the outlet. I don't need it. And then every year
Never
since
saw
then,
it again.
8 years ago, every time I see somebody wearing that shirt, I'm like, gosh, damn it. Why didn't I buy that shirt? She found it on eBay and sent it to me. I don't think I can get a better birthday gift after that. I think she won. I was so excited.
I
So
have to send you. I do have a box to send you. I don't know.
I do too.
I probably won't be able to go, to be honest, because life is an absolute disaster on 95 different angles right now. However, just know, God damn it, I'm gonna have to probably like block you that weekend. Just it's nothing personal. Nothing personal.
I understand. I did that to Josh when he was in Ireland. I'm like, I can't look at your pictures.
Like just sorry guys, Lauren's dead to me for about 3 to 4 days. Nothing personal, kid. Maybe one day. I don't know. Well,
That sucks.
we have more bad news. Craft beer is basically illegal in Thailand now. So, according to this quote, Thailand's regulations demand that beer manufacturers must have a minimum production capability output of 10 million liters per year, which translates into about 30,000 bottles, and that's daunting for new brewers just entering the market. Additionally, Thai laws stipulate that new breweries must have about $300,000 in US money upfront in capital, which absolutely insane, and almost impossible sum for most startup operations in that part of the world. The government's rationale is both one of taxation. They fear that these small producers will escape paying taxes, but guys, we literally had a war about taxes. Just saying. Also, the concern over hygiene standards. When just a few major beer brands dominate the country, that also precludes smaller competitors from entering the market. You have to wonder about the directives of its political leadership and just who's taking who out to lunch. A little secret. It's not the good guys.
Right.
God damn it. It's so frustrating. Like,
So that was remember we were following us like 6 months ago now. They were trying to do a beer fest in Thailand, and it
yeah, and
wasn't
they got shut down, didn't they?
Yeah, I need to look up what eventually ended up happening. I think there was an outcome, and then we just didn't do episodes for a while. But going back to the UK, there is a brewery called Big Dig Brewhouse that opened their brewery on a site that was believed to be an ancient brew house.
Ooh.
So that's pretty cool. And side note on this, one of the brewers is named Steve Rogers.
What? That's crazy.
So they're making patriotic beer. Oh, maybe it's like Captain Carter beer, since it's in the UK.
That's cool.
Some of this is a little bit older news, but we can go over it real quick. Mercedes-Benz Stadium, home to the NFL's Atlanta Falcons and Atlanta United Soccer, will be getting 2 Sweetwater brewing bars if they haven't already. JetBlue is actually serving non-alcoholic beer now from Athletic Brewing Company, and if you follow them on the socials, you might have seen them actually going on planes and handing out their beer. So that's pretty cool. They were a Hops News guest like 3 years ago.
That's cool.
So we got them.
Yes, they were actually like, yeah, I was gonna say like they were very early in both our process and their process, which was pretty rad. They were really cool people, and I'm good. It's cool to like see this stuff happen because like not everybody drinks, nor should you feel, made to drink. And they do have a really cool social media team. I see them on TikTok and stuff like that all the time. That's cool. Good for them. Good for you. Go, Glen Coco.
Brielle had Mean Girls on yesterday. Well, and like I have some of their beer in here right now. So when we got home on 4th of July, we went to a beer tasting and we came home to do
Oh yeah,
fireworks
you
and
were
everything.
definitely drunk.
I wanted another beer. So I came home and I opened a non-alcoholic, which is a good thing because the next thing I know, Brielle's making me go rollerblading with her down the
When I
block. So
texted
it's
you and I was
rollerblading
like, what are
alcoholic
we
beer.
doing this week? Are we doing Hops News? And you're like, let's go. And I was like, oh yeah. We'll reconvene tomorrow.
Yeah, we had a nice little beer share. So we got some good beers. Our one friend Aaron, he does a lot of international travel. He's actually in Ireland or Belgium
Yeah.
today. I don't know. He sent a picture of a
Ooh.
Guinness, a picture of a Belgian beer. I think he's in Belgium. But he had brought a couple beers from Japan with him. He's always bringing us international beers for our beer tastings. And he had one beer that literally tasted like grape soda, didn't even taste like beer. And another beer, I think, that tasted like peach soda. So that was interesting.
Interesting.
Um, let's see. Yes, we got that. Oh, we're back to Thailand. So a court in Thailand actually gave a craft beer enthusiast 150,000. Well, okay, the equivalent to US dollars was 4,360. So because it was in baht. So,
Oh,
and
got
he
you.
gave him a suspended 6-month prison sentence for violating a law on advertising alcoholic beverages by posting a photo of a beer with his evaluation of it on Facebook. So something we
What?
do almost every day. He got a $4,000 fine for.
I'm going to jail.
Yep. So if you're in Thailand,
Don't
do
mind
not
me.
post your beer, kids.
Don't mind me, kids. I'm just searching for my missing cable.
Yeah, I'll just keep doing some news. Some of this is, like I said, older news because we haven't been on a minute to do all our news. So FIU, Florida International University, that is down in Miami, has its own hops, the Sunblazer Golden Ale, named after the school's first mascot. Now it is a panther is the mascot. The beer was created by FIU alum Alan Espino, the co-founder of Beat Culture Brewery in Miami.
Hmm.
So that's kind of cool. They have their own hops.
That's cool.
A lot of these schools are starting to have brewing programs and stuff, and that's really awesome.
I do see a lot more brewing programs popping up, which I think is a really cool thing because education in beer goes a long way.
Yeah. And it's a lot of science, it's a lot of chemistry. It's like Breaking Bad but without the meth or the murder or the
Murder.
shout out to Giancarlo Esposito, who plays Gus
Yes.
Fring, Gustavo Fring on Breaking Bad. He's also Moff Gideon. Today is National Fried Chicken Day, and he posted a picture of him in Pollos Hermanos outfit, which
That's
was, I
awesome.
thought, hilarious.
I love everything about
Um,
that.
My last piece of news is Remedy Brewing Company is once again making a splash with its Big Sioux brew. They pull surface water out of Big Sioux, clean it about a bajillion times to make sure it's actually very safe, and then they brew with it. Remedy Brewing, their co-owner Matt Hasted has said they're making beer with river water. The point is to
Ooh.
raise awareness about water quality.
Water quality is very important when making beer, folks, because if you have shitty water quality, it's too hard or, whatever it may be, the pH balance gets off and not good for business, man. Not good at all. So that's just as important.
Well, the water can also sometimes very much to improve your beer, like what's it,
Yes.
gypsum. Yeah, do you know what I'm
Very
talking about?
true. I do. I do. Um, yeah. So that's
That.
that's the episode this week. We're trying to get consistent, folks. I'm sorry. And obviously things are not very well regulated on this end because things are all just jacked up. But I promise you we're going to keep doing what we can do. And in the meantime, keep drinking good beer, keep supporting your breweries. Find us, Hops News, on any social media platform. Gonna try my damnedest to maybe get this mess up on a podcasting platform, and that way people can listen to it if they want to, and try to figure something out that works. Maybe if pre-recorded Hops News, if that's the way we have to go for now to make sure that there's consistent things to listen to, then that's what we'll do. We'll figure it out. Also, find us on Hops Geek News because that's where we're at every week, doing a lot of cool stuff. Support the show there. Threads is a new thing now, I guess. Instagram. It's apparently Twitter suing Instagram over that. It's going to be great, but Threads seems to be the place right now. So you can find us there even. Go to our YouTube. Please, for the love of God, subscribe to our YouTube, Hops Geek News, and help the podcast grow both here and there. With that said, I'm Matt. That's Lauren. You know us because there's like 3 of you actually watching right now, and you're our family
I'm one of them.
members. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon.